If you want to spice up music production conversations, then ask any producer or engineer. Should you send your sound to effects bosses or use effects directly on your tracks? I bet the opinions will lean towards to the first example, but does that mean that one is better than the other? But let's start from scratch. The main difference comes down to flexibility. Sure, there are more and more plugins with filtering, EQing, docking and gate options, but it's still only the dry and wet knob you have control over in terms of the amount. If you ever recorded something with external gear or DSP effects, then you know that there is no way to undo the processing. Same goes for using effects directly on your track. If something goes wrong or you simply want to group elements, you always need to have reverb or delay tail in mind. As long as a little bit of EQ won't matter that much, any dynamic or harmonic based process will make a huge difference. But just to not make you panically remove all effects from your tracks, there are actually a lot of benefits that come from using effects directly on them. Take for example any creative use, like reverb or delay throws. A whole world of sound design is based on processing and repurposing reverbs and delays, both to create lush soundscapes, crazy tails, or simply making the sound wider with shorter delays. Although just remember that a simple envelope tweak, like bringing the decay or release up, can give you the same effect as putting reverb after the sound. Sounds like using sends and bosses is a way to go, right? Well, in most cases, it actually is. Most in-the-box engineers and producers treat it as a great way to save computing power. No need for the same, sometimes heavy CPU effect on all tracks, but the idea behind it has totally different roots. Live recorded instruments share the same space, which obviously sounds way more natural to human ear. And the way you can mimic their place in the room is how much you send them to delay or reverb. The further away the instrument would be from mic, the more reverb you want to add. Alright, but let's skip the vision of you recording Serum synth in a hall or in a church and focus on what matters the most. You have full control over how the effect sounds and blends into the mix. If the built-in EQ is not enough, you can add another one, then fix any resonances coming from it, which happens a lot if you use convolution reverb, even compress and saturate if necessary. Then you can turn on your creative switch and apply any effect you can imagine. When it comes down to utility needs, sends are also easier to manage. Imagine using automations for all the tracks you have effects on, instead of drawing just one line to mute or dim the effect at once. Now it should not be a secret that no matter how precise you are, using many instances of space-adding tools will create a lot of mess inside your mix. If you take any reference track you want and then audition its side image, where reverbs and delays usually sit, it's easy to notice that those sound like one cohesive element, instead of many different tails at many different times. It's also a cool way to get an idea which reverbs or delays you should choose, as well as much you need to apply it if you aim for the same vibe as your reference. I feel like this video touches upon a slightly different area that we usually do, so let us know down in the comments if you want to know more about more creative side of mixing and producing. Till the next one.